guys. Welcome to Beyond the Box. I'm here today with Logan, and we're doing...
Hello.
Yes. We are doing kind of a...
Little check-in?
Yeah, like a podcast check-in, which is... I was thinking about it, and I think it's going to roll into maybe like a building confidence kind of session. What I've noticed with people and what I've noticed with myself as far as since I've started this venture. And
That's what I was going to ask you, so you got it. That was one of the first things I was going to ask you, is to reflect on your own...
We're reflecting today.
On your own thoughts so far.
Yeah, it's... So, as far as... I guess it's like what I've noticed with people and myself is that some people get nervous about being seen. And I completely get that, because at the beginning of this, I did not want to put these on. Damn it. I don't know. Sometimes I just don't want to wear glasses.
I like glasses.
Well,
I think it's a good look.
thanks.
Go ahead.
But it's, yeah. They're nice. Side note here, with glasses, they're great, and sometimes it feels like, wow, it's so stylish. But then you get to a point where you can't be without them.
You would rather it be optional.
Yeah, an option would be
Yeah.
nice. I can just kind of take them off and be like...
I found some old glasses
Can't do
that
that.
I had because I have a very slight astigmatism. And I got some glasses when I was like a teenager, and I found them the other day, and I put them on, and I was like, it's gotten worse, for sure.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed having them because like my eyes like relaxed, and I could see normally.
Yeah.
Like I low-key kind of need them.
Yeah.
But I was...
It's okay. You can embrace it.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I can accomplish the same level of eyesight, but I have to squint sometimes, or I have to...
Yeah.
Versus when I put them on, I noticed I could almost
Yeah,
feel...
your eyes can relax.
I could almost feel them relax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how when Nicole was on, she has these fun, colorful glasses now. She
does.
just started wearing them.
Oh, really?
Just started wearing them.
Those fit her so well. I would have thought that was like a thing she does.
Not at all. So it's been
Interesting.
it's been hard for her, because we talked about this. This is not what we're talking about today, but whatever. And we were talking about dancing with glasses on and doing turns and stuff, and she was having a hard
Oh, yeah,
time
because
with
she's
it.
not used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't do that. I don't need glasses to dance, and I just need them to read. And sometimes when my eyes are tired at night, and I'm driving, it's nice. It's good.
I definitely already have trouble with driving at night for sure.
Or
So
like you're
it's
looking at
coming for me.
GPS and stuff. Sometimes it's just like, I'm just going to put them on,
It's coming for me. It's definitely coming for me.
Yeah, it happens. But
And my dad's always said it just happens. You just like, you can
You
kind of
wake
see
up
one day,
one
and
day.
then one day you just can't. And I was like, all right,
yeah, it sucks.
I trust your word. Actually, I thought that super side note, what that thing was going on with my eye, I thought that's what it was. I was like, hey, dude, you told me
my
it
eyes are
happens
going.
overnight.
They're going downhill
Dude,
quick.
I can't see anything.
Yeah.
I mean, are you blind too? It's like, no, that's something else.
Yeah.
So, anyways, sorry, that was
Okay.
definitely a tangent there.
All right. No, it's fine.
We were talking about your reflection, but you said some people don't like to be seen, which you definitely understand.
People doing what I want to do. Oh, okay. Yeah, what I noticed about myself is that, like when I first started it, I was thinking I'm going to be afraid to speak and afraid to be judged and afraid that even if I had any success in this, that, that I wasn't worthy of it, or I was doing this kind of imposter syndrome thing. But the more I've kind of gotten into that, I've realized that, obviously, if I'm going to be a doctor, then yes, I have to go to school for that.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do an internship. I have to do all that. But the majority of some jobs just take, a beginner's mindset and like learning and knowledge and wanting to do it. And that's where I am right now, I think, is just learning, the process of what this is and getting more comfortable with it. And I don't know.
That's what I see in you, and I would agree with that in general as well, that a lot of the times it's just we overcomplicate it. And I've thought about that over the last couple of days for different reasons, ironically.
It's funny what comes up too when you start something new like this. Like I noticed that a lot of like old, what am I trying to say? Like just fears were coming up in me. It was like the minute I liken it to like an old car. So I'm an old car and things break down. And so I recognize what's breaking down and I fix it. And as soon as I fix it, then something else breaks down.
Yeah,
so it's like, that's what's coming up as I do stuff like this. It's like,
I almost feel like it's like you're pouring water into something and it reveals cracks. You know,
Yeah.
like water starts to
Totally.
pop out the side or whatever.
yeah,
You know,
I
'cause
don't
like
know.
because if you fill something up like that, I mean, it's going to reveal it, and so that makes sense. And it's
I mean, it's cool that happens.
Yeah.
But it can also deter people. You know,
100%.
it's like, oh my God, I can't do this, and that's where I've been most of my life. Is you start something and go, what am I doing? This is ridiculous.
Let me tell you about something that happened to me yesterday, and this happens to me all the time. I filmed a video for myself. I sat down yesterday at 8:30 to begin setting up the set, and in my head, I've tried to even give myself way more space than I need even. So I'll give myself like 30 minutes to set up my set. I know what I'm doing, so it really shouldn't even take that long, but I'll give myself 30 minutes. And then really I should only be filming for like an hour, but I'll give myself an hour and a half because I just cannot seem to keep it under that. But I really don't want it to be like 2 hours because that's too much and the edit becomes like insane to
Right.
do. I filmed this whole process from 8:30 to 12 yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Because I got the set up and then something bothered me about it and I started messing with it and I couldn't stop messing with it. And then eventually I just put it back where it was.
Yeah.
I was ready to go. I went to go. I realized I wasn't recording. So I had to start. And that was just a couple minutes, but I realized but it was a good start. Like I got into a good groove like right out of the gate and I was like, okay, here we go. And I like looked down and I was like, no way. So I had to, okay, here we go again, like restart it. Then I filmed for like 30 minutes, did like a full segment, like a full couple segments, and restarted again because I was like, it's just not good. Like I don't like it. I don't
God.
feel like I know what I'm talking about. I'm kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Started over again, and then filmed for an hour and a half. And so it ended up taking me like 4 hours. And I say that to say that I'm not like Michael B. Jordan. I'm not like a professional on-screen person or anything like that. But I've been on podcasts. I've sat down in front of a camera and recorded hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm.
And it still makes me nervous. It still is difficult to get through that initial.
Well, because you care about what you're putting out.
Yes.
Right?
And my point in saying that is that like that's not, that shouldn't deter you from doing it necessarily. That's part of the process, right? Is my point. Like I've sat down and done that hundreds of times. Still makes me nervous. Doesn't mean I'm doing anything wrong. It's just it makes you nervous. You shake the nerves out. There is a ton of fear around just starting. Is a lot of my point because once I get going, for example, in those kind of scenarios, I'm good. Like
Right.
same thing with this in a podcast format. Once you get going, you're good. But so that oftentimes is the biggest step. And I have a friend that I said this to one time before that I really do believe that like once the decision is made, he wanted to be a comedian, for example, in his particular case. And I told him, and I'd tell anybody that wants to pursue something like that, podcast being, and I probably said this to you, actually. But once you make the decision, it's already done. Like, that's it. You want to start a podcast, you've made the decision to start the podcast. Maybe,
For some people.
Maybe, well, if you truly make the decision, though, is the thing. Like, you may say, yeah, no, I'm going to do it. But in the back of your mind, you're like, I still having doubts, and you're still not having doubts. That's part of that's natural. But the point being is that I'm going to do something. That decision has to come first. Always comes first. You cannot do anything without truly deciding that that's what you're going to do. If that's where you're going to end up. The details in between the starting place and you getting there will fill themselves in. It's like the Jordan Peterson talks about making a plan and then improving the plan, right? Mm-hmm. You wanted to have a podcast that spoke about things that were important to you and brought awareness to those things, ultimately. Well, the moment that you decided to do that, yes, that doesn't instantly create an actual account with actual episodes and that kind of thing. But in the big scheme of things, it's already been completed at that point. You've made the decision. You're working towards it.
But I had to get there. I wasn't there. If I had thought of this years back, hey, I want to do this, then it wouldn't have happened, I'll tell you. Because,
no, 100%. To get to that point of making that decision is a huge thing. I don't mean to gloss over that part at all. I just simply, and I want to hear what you were saying. I just want to clarify. I was just saying that decision of that I'm going to do this, everybody comes to that point at some point, and you have to make that decision at some point. Whether you're ready to do that at that moment is a whole separate discussion, but
Right.
But everybody has to have that moment of like, I'm going to do this and just figure it out as you go, and it's scary regardless type of deal is my point.
I always thought that, and not only just the podcast, but just other things in life, things that I would want to start. I had this, what happened was I would see somebody else doing something and I would go, oh my God, how come they can do it and I can't? And then I would have this defeatist mentality about it. I would look at them and go, wow, they're already successful. I can't do that. I want to do that, but I can't. And so now I can look at it realistically and say, I'm sure that they didn't start out and it just was successful just like that.
100%.
I'm bringing Nicole up again, but perfect example would be Nicole, because I've known her for so long. I would start and I would see the things that she was doing, teaching classes, and she would have all these people in there, and I would go, I can do that. I've got this talent. I can do it as well. No, I can't do it. I don't have her personality. I just can't. And I would just talk myself out of it every time. And it was maddening to me because I would have an idea, but I would stop myself.
Yeah.
Because I would be like, well, I'm not like that person. I'm going to get judged. I'm going to be laughed at, whatever. And that being said, if you want to start something, now I know this, if you want to start something, you want to move forward, you have a passion to do it, then, look at that person that's maybe doing it as well and try to learn from them. Try to not be them, but learn from them and put your own spin on it. And, so that's...
It's a totally different way of looking at it.
Yeah, but it's taken me
Yeah.
a long time to figure that out, and I think you have to, first off, like what we talked about before, is you have to work on why you feel the way you feel.
Right.
You have to have
Like, what is it about that, and I deal with that professionally. It irritates me whenever I go into a business and I'm like not doing stuff for them. I'm like, I should be doing stuff for you. It drives me crazy that I'm not.
Right.
And immediately you got to go like, okay, why are we feeling so aggressively? I guess in that case, if it's somebody else doing it, a lot of times, I have no problem admitting that it's
So aggressively what?
Jealousy.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
like that's what it is.
It's envy.
It's envy.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's the appropriate way to say it, is envy. It's envy, ultimately.
Yeah,
But
because
the
you want to be where they are because you can do it, but then you're
Yeah.
like, but they're doing it
Yeah.
and I can't.
So the reality of that situation is that may be a family friend of theirs. They may charge a lot less than I do.
Mm-hmm.
They may have reached out to them 6 months before I started. They may have been working with them for 10 years. They may...
Right. They may have failed years back.
There's a million different reasons.
Right.
A million different reasons. And to that point, that I think we talked about this a little bit before, but there's a book called The Four Agreements. And one of the agreements of the four is don't take anything personally. And we talk about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever you make... And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, this does kind of weave back into what we're talking about because we're talking about the podcast. When you create anything, to be fair, whether it's filmed or not, but especially whenever you're putting your face out there and your voice out there, and then also speaking about things that are important that mean something to you, it's very difficult not to take things personally.
Well, and also when you, I've also found that when you're feeling like envy or jealous of that person, then you're putting it back on yourself. So it's like, I can't do this. I don't want to say it's a selfish feeling, but it is, because you're playing victim. You're going, I can't do this, and why are they doing it and I can't, and all that kind of stuff. But I think what happened with me is I started to have a different perspective on this.
I know, it's incredible. I would love to know.
Wait, I have to finish this thought.
Sorry. Yeah,
I had a different perspective, meaning I started to think what I have gone through life enough to where I have some knowledge on things, and I want to be of service. I want to share whatever I know to whoever, and if that helps one person, then that's great. And it changed.
So what was it, do you
It was
think?
weird.
I was going to ask you this earlier. What was it, do you think, and I'm being general here because I don't know, what things would have popped up before this, but what do you think was different this time with why you ultimately followed through with the podcast versus other times where you convinced yourself out of doing different things? Was it just where you're at? And if it is where you're at, like what is it
In the past, everything felt like a me thing. Like I was trying to perform and get acceptance from other people. Now, I'm just trying to
you're giving.
Yeah,
Right.
It's instead of taking, and I'm giving. Does that make sense?
No, it totally makes sense.
Like,
It absolutely makes sense.
like I noticed, I started to go back and think about as a kid, my identity has been, even up until just recently, my identity has been I'm a dancer. Like, that's what I am. That's what I'm known for. And I'm nothing unless I'm a dancer. But now I've realized that actually dancing is just what I do, and I have a lot of other things, talents, whatever, that I can give, that I can share with other people. And I'm not so attached to that identity. But again, growing up, I had a lot of, I'm trying so bad to ignore that.
I can't really
Because I'm trying to, I really want to get out this because I was thinking about it. And that's pissing me off so bad, but whatever.
Hold on, just don't say anything else. Just keep it in your mind. Okay. No. Just wait a second. Write down a note real quick. Do you have a pen? Write a note or something.
Okay.
Just give it a second.
Well, hold on. Are we going to, can you
Yeah, I'll finish it.
edit this?
Please stop.
Okay, so I wrote this down, so I'm just going to read it. So I had said that dance was my identity. And at the beginning, I felt like, and it's true, I felt like that I needed to perform in order to have value. And I felt this most of my life. So I was never great in school, but I was always pretty athletic and, cheering and dance and all that kind of stuff. And so I was fortunate enough to get a lot of dance jobs, and I would get some pretty significant dance jobs. And it was just that, and I didn't realize this at the time until just recently. It was the validation of, wow, you're like important, you're special. But they never lasted, like a dance job is quick. You do the dance job and then it's over, and then I'm back scrambling trying to win that, approval from other people. And it just has kept me down because, it made me super sensitive. People would say stuff to me, and it would be little stuff, and it would be very like unassuming, and I would take it the wrong way, and it just was really messing with me. And so I also felt like at the very beginning with this podcast, I was trying, there was a part of me that was like performative, but I feel like now I'm working through that to where I'm just trying to be as authentic as I can, and if it comes off wrong, it comes off wrong. I'm getting so pissed off right now because y'all probably can't hear it. What makes me
You
mad?
can hear it a little bit, but I'm trying to keep it. My mic was off that whole time, just so not to pick up as much as possible.
Okay.
But it's there a little bit, but we're dodging around it a little bit. It's just crazy how it always happens when we're filming.
Well, what makes
There's
me mad
no
is
way that they're doing that all day, every day.
no.
There's
But
no
this
way.
is a side note. So there's like I said, there's an Airbnb below me, and it's like in the basement, and they're redoing it. I think they had flooding, and so they're redoing the floors and whatnot. And so I just went down there before this started and said, "Hi, is there going to be any like hammering or construction going down there?" And they said, "Oh no, it's just painting." I was like, "Perfect."
They lie.
They lied.
They lied.
People lie.
But no, I think that it's
Anyway.
what you were saying though is a super important point. Whenever we were talking about doing this to begin with, I read you that poem this is my favorite poem. You know, our greatest fear.
Mm-hmm.
So our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate, that we are powerful beyond measure. And at the end of it, it says, when we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Yes.
When we,
Good one.
I don't have my phone, but anyways, I don't want to butcher it. But the point being is that at the end of when we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And then there's another sentence that's almost the exact.
But it doesn't. It's also like a work in progress. It's not like
when we let our own light shine, we give other people permission to do the same.
yes.
So what we talked about in that initial conversation, which I do think that it has kind of held as like the
Gold standard.
well, like the driving force behind like what we're doing is what we talked about initially, which was ultimately capped off by that poem, which is ultimately capped off by those couple sentences, which says everything that you're talking about right there, which is at a certain point you realize that that fear is not only holding you back, but you could actually be serving others. You could actually be helping people. And if you don't do this, there's going to be people that you could have helped that you aren't going to help. And that overtook that fear, and that allowed you to go through it. Not to mention I think for you, and just me on the outside looking in, that's crazy.
It's fine.
But on the outside looking in, I would say too that
Shut that. It's loud, but maybe that'll.
beautiful doors.
I don't know.
No, not too much. But
It's fine. Okay.
it's okay. Okay.
I'll say. Can I say something
Yeah.
real quick? Tagging on to what you had said about being of service to people. Another thing that I've noticed that I've had to like really be aware of, and it's so hard for me, is now that we're kind of in this a little bit, I try to think about the people that are coming on, and I don't know their stories very well, but some of them I do, and I have this urge, to just, I really want to like state my case and like a lawyer and just kind of explain to them how important this is and how they could really help people. But the fact of the matter is, just because I'm ready and willing to be of service to people doesn't mean that the other person is willing or ready to share their story. And I have to be okay with that. Because again, this has been a chore for me and a lesson for me to try to understand that I can't convince everybody.
Can't force it.
And I can't force it.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Well, those people ultimately, it's easy to say, but it's true, and content is a good way to think about it. We say ultimately those people aren't. Doesn't mean maybe later on that they don't, but at the moment they're not meant to be on because they're not in that place yet.
yeah, they're not there, and that's
totally
fine.
okay. Yeah, it is totally okay. Now it is. Especially whenever you want to have like a particular person on, or you like you were saying, and this is probably exactly what you meant. I don't mean it's not like I didn't listen to you because I did.
No,
I did.
I just probably didn't get across.
But when you know their story and you know it would be good to share, and you know that people would take a lot out of it, and you know they would be great, it can be hard not to force it. But when you're having, and this is what I always try to stress to you as well, is to just remember that you're just having a conversation. So that can help in the moment whenever you feel like you want to be super forceful. It's like, hey, I just want you to come on and talk and just share. But you're right that there are certain things, and you want people that are.
And I want people that are ready to do
go
it
to that level.
because
yeah. And it's nothing against people that aren't. There's just not. That's not. The show is called, and we, in a lot of ways, and I could go on this forever, and so I won't. But from a producer standpoint, from a content perspective, we're like, this is still very much like a baby. I mean, this will be the 14th or 15th episode. The first few, you're just trying to figure out how to speak on camera. You don't even know. Now we had good guests and we still had good episodes, regardless of that, and that's great. And that's the benefit of hopefully doing it the right way. But like you were saying before, it's still beginner's mindset with each new show as well. For me to figure you out and to figure out what you would like to have on and how to coach you correctly, and then for you, obviously it's a ton of that where you're like, who do I really want to talk to? What do I actually find interesting? What carries me through these conversations without having to stop and really think about it because I'm really not that interested, or that kind of thing. It's all a learning experience, and I think that you've gotten way. I mean, again, I think that they were good before, but it's only gotten better as it should. And
Thanks.
Ultimately, what I was going to say is that the show, what we want to try to lean on, and what we need to continue to try to lean on, and I think that I feel pretty confident that the audience would feel the same always, which is why this is the framework. But it's called Beyond the Box because we want to take people out
Right.
of that. Now there's some like with Nicole, like we still talk to her about dance, but even dance, it's like we want to.
Well, I think Nicole was she stretched herself pretty well. I mean,
She did.
I noticed that Nicole is growing in a different way because I've known her for so long.
But also, you didn't ask her 100 super specific dance questions that forced the conversation to stay in that part.
No, I mean, she's easy to talk to. There are some people that are they're a little harder. You have to kind of bring it out in them, and I'm still working on that. But I was just going to say, like, if you are interested in doing, and it doesn't have to be a podcast, or doing anything that maybe you feel or is kind of out of your box and you feel uncomfortable with, I was writing, how do you fix it? And what happened with me was I tried to, again, become aware. Self-awareness is like the key, because that's just where you have to start. You have to be aware of yourself. You have to be aware of, I want to start this, but I have a holdback. Why? I need to address this in some way. So acknowledge that, and then acknowledge whatever that is. You have to figure out, is that like some kind of self-imposed belief that I have? And if it is, and it's self-imposed, then you have to start having different self-talk. You have to have, you have to change your the way you think, your neural pathways. And I used to think people would say, oh, just tell yourself that you're a good person. Affirmations. I don't, not that I don't believe in affirmations. I just feel like you have to understand why you started telling yourself this, and then try to fix it in some way. So I think the main thing would be start thinking about how you can be of value to other people. That was the key for me, because I just had to move it off of myself and onto, I have experiences in my life, and I want to share them in some way. So, but that takes courage. You have to. It's just.
Well, no, it doesn't. I think that a lot of people also.
It's like a whole recipe. It's not just.
It is, and what I was going to say earlier is that the song started, I was going to say that from the outside looking in, I think it is notable that that you are where you are in your journey from the standpoint that you're doing a lot of work and have been over the last few months outside of the show that you're bringing into the show, and so you're in a really cool place of your life where you're having growth happen simultaneously in both places that feeds itself, because you're having conversations in here that you take back out on your hikes, for example, and then you have your hikes which you bring back into here. And so if that's how it should work, because we're having conversations about things that are genuinely on your mind and things that are important, and that doesn't mean they can't be fun at the same time, but overall I think, and I guess I would ask you too to reflect on this and tell me what you think, but I mean ultimately, so I asked you, at the end of the day why you were able to push through it on this was because you wanted to serve other people. And again, baby steps. Where we're at. But so far, I mean, I feel that that's probably been something that has been accomplished. I mean, the feedback that you've gotten has been, especially within your community, has been pretty great. And
yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah. So
I mean,
what do you think about that's? I'm just kind of throwing that out there and get you to chew on that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. But I have gotten so many good comments since this has gone on, and it kind of blows my mind. I don't really know how to react to it, but it's just nice. It feels good,
Well, I try to bring things like that up to you a lot because it's very natural to doubt, and it's very natural to be afraid, and it's very natural to all the things that we were just talking about. And that's why I'm bringing it up now to say,
yeah, I still feel that way.
100%. And that's what I said before too. I filmed yesterday. But okay, well, great. Am I just going to drop that on? By the way, it's always going to suck. It's like, no. Also, when you push through all of that,
yeah,
what has the response been? It sounds like good. It sounds like worth it.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. And I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's, I mean, I'm enjoying it, and I'm getting a lot out of it as well. I mean, selfishly, I'm hoping to help other people, but I'm learning a lot myself. Mm-hmm. So, and it's bringing up a lot of stuff. It's like once you start going down that path of trying to figure yourself out, you become really keen to it and aware of every little thing. It almost can be kind of maddening.
It's almost overwhelming.
It is. Yeah. Because once you turn on that light, it's hard to dim it again. No, it's just is. God, what is happening?
I had a really good therapist for a while that one of the ways that I described his, I guess what I got out of it was that he turned on awareness.
Yeah.
For me. And now that I look back on it, he more so turned on self-awareness and maybe a little bit of both. But how I usually say that is a lot quicker than what I'm doing right now. But usually what I'll say is, he turned that switch of awareness, he turned that on, and I've never been able to turn it off. And it is, sometimes you're almost like, okay, I don't remember.
You're super aware, especially for your age.
Well, I mean, the therapy sessions I'm talking about happened probably a decade ago.
Yeah, wow.
Early 20s. So, and I did a lot of work with it. And then again, mid-20s with the same guy. I had a couple of different times that I was going to him more heavily than not. But
well, when you left a session, did you just leave everything at that session, or did it make you question things?
No, I enjoyed therapy a lot. I usually felt better afterwards.
Yeah.
Like I was saying earlier before we started filming this, sometimes, especially with a podcast, it can feel weird to do that. Hey, let's just show up and talk. I mean, but sometimes that really is better because the things that are just on your mind just start coming out.
Right.
And there isn't there doesn't have to be a prevailing crisis, to go in and just speak. And it's very good for you, I think, too, because that person is objective, about as objective as a person could be, aside from the fact that you're paying them, but which makes it seem, but at the same time, you're paying them and I mean, I guess
I don't know. I've
Listen,
been
the-
with therapists.
a good therapist should not. A good therapist should tell you
They're not great.
what you need to hear, should tell you the truth, and should not care how you feel about it. And a good therapist is somebody that, in my opinion, a good therapist is, different from a friend or from a parent or from a spouse because they're not involved. They're not.
Yeah, they're not emotionally
they're-
attached.
They're not.
They're
not
subjective.
and they're also not impacted by the consequences in most cases,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, like, sometimes people won't tell you the truth of what you need to hear because it may impact them negatively. Well, that's
Yeah.
not really the case with a. So, anyways, my point being with the therapist is that if it's done right, it's incredibly useful. And to answer your question specifically, I would say that not only on a day-to-day, like, therapy session to therapy session basis would I feel better or take something away would be the idea. But in the big scheme of therapy, what I view it as is like awareness, for example. That's a tool that you now have moving forward. You don't need to be told again. You can sharpen that, and there's ways that we can deepen it. Obviously, you could talk about it forever. I mean, your entire life could be spent just on awareness, that topic alone.
I have always been aware, but I've never. I've just like pushed it down.
But
I've always felt it.
Yeah.
But I've never addressed it because.
Well, all I was going to say is that
Why?
if I don't think that it's necessary, and this is somebody who's a huge proponent of therapy. If therapy is working, you shouldn't have to be going to therapy the same amount all the time forever.
Yeah.
Ideally, like, I think that, like, I probably should. That this same guy that I'm thinking of, I've recently thought about reaching out to him because I haven't had a session in years. If I were to start having sessions with him right now, it would be to get me to a certain place, and then it would become like a check-in thing because I
Right.
would be learning a set of tools and a set of skills on a day-to-day basis to address the things that I came in to talk about. Like, that's
Right.
so if it's done right, not only do you feel better on a day-to-day basis, but I think it becomes, like, I guess a good quote would be, or a good way to put it would be, that if therapy is done right, it teaches you to not need therapy anymore.
Right.
And
I mean, that's how it should be in general. I mean, we talked about this with a chiropractor. Like, I disagree that you go in, to a chiropractor and you just go and go for years.
Forever, yeah.
Well, I've got to get adjusted because it's going to fall out of place, and I got to get adjusted again. And it's just like, God, really? Like
check-ins are one thing, but
I-
if you go to a therapist about a specific issue and you work through that issue,
yeah.
I mean,
Then
you would think that the therapist would go, okay, are we good to go? Like,
well, I think a good
know,
therapist
it's a
will give you
relationship, but-
will give you the tools
Exactly.
and then ask you some questions that will cause you to think, I don't know about that, but I'm gonna try to figure it out. Same thing with a doctor.
Yeah.
What we had talked about that
right.
you go in to see a doctor, and a lot of people just blind faith go in and they just trust the doctor because the doctor is God to them, and then they'll just do whatever. It's like the blind leading the sheep or whatever.
The blind
whatever.
lead the blind?
Yeah, whatever that is.
The blind leading the
sheep.
Also not good. Also not good, but not what we were looking for, but also not good.
But, I think you have to advocate for yourself with a doctor, with a therapist, whatever. I mean, you've got a brain.
Yeah.
You've got to use it. Yourself. I'm not in your body. You're not in my body.
Well, you should
so-
know yourself, and that is one thing that
And a lot of people don't.
that's
They
that's
just
a big thing is you got to know yourself. You really do, and speaking about the podcast itself and just in general, I mean, do you feel like just having these conversations with people as you've learned more about yourself?
Yeah.
And they seem to do that as well too. Yeah, you think?
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times people. It's interesting just in pure reflection about the show so far. It's always great to see and to hear like that reaction of like, wow, that was. It's like people forget that they're here, which is great. That's what you want. I think there's for me on the outside looking in, there are. I just had a whole nother line of thought. I was thinking, well, I wouldn't bring this up at all if there were no signs of this. So you're good. You know that you're in a good spot if I need to be talking about this at all. But I know at least, and you could feel it too if you were around multiple of them. But you know the store, the projects, you know the shows, you know the people that are, there's something special there, or there's a unique spark there, or there's a potential there. And with some it's there, and with some it's not. In a lot of cases,
Are you talking about people that are on the show?
I'm talking about you.
Oh.
I'm saying your intention behind the show
Oh, okay.
is more uncommon than you would think. And because of that, it is produced genuinely organic, but genuinely and organic, feedback from the people that are on it and otherwise. That's why I tell you after every episode that we finish that somebody has that kind of reaction or where they go really deep with us. It's like, if you think about your day-to-day life, when have you had a conversation like that with people? And now everybody's life is different.
You never have
But you
time
almost
for it.
You almost, under the best circumstances, you don't got time for it. I mean, when was the last time that you scheduled to sit down and talk to somebody for an hour and a half?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Anymore.
Ever.
Yeah.
Now,
it doesn't
when did
even
you- when did you-
happen in any realm.
I was going to say, when do you accidentally talk to somebody for an hour and a half?
I mean, I do talk
almost
to Vicky almost every day for
So
about an hour
your
and a half.
very best friend in the whole world, you have that kind of conversation with. Other than
She
that,
still won't come on.
Yeah, Vicky, listen, I made promises.
I'm calling you out.
I made promises regarding my confidence in getting you on here, and you didn't.
Literally just talked to her this
didn't,
morning, and she's
You didn't come through for me. I'm a little
very
upset.
adamant about it.
Well, you know what? Now I'm mad at you. So how about that? Maybe now I say no
Whatever,
to you.
whatever, it's
I'm just
fine.
kidding.
I'll just
I
move
joke,
on.
I joke. But my
but
point,
yeah, it's true. I mean, even in life, in any situation, it's and I'm back in the dating realm. It's like in that realm too. You can't have a conversation even when you're trying to meet somebody. It's just maddening.
I couldn't. I really.
Yeah, you're not there, but I'll tell you. I mean, texting all day long, but it is like a digital relationship, and I don't want that.
And then in person is just quiet.
In person, it's never in person.
Or it's just not a person.
Or it just doesn't happen. I mean, or you can just, text, and maybe one date, and then you have a date, and then it's like, well, that was fun, but then, a week passes and nothing.
Yeah.
So it's just like, this is so frustrating.
So whether that be with that kind of situation, or whether it be with a friend, or whether it be with just a person that you want to learn about, like you just don't. That's why I believe in this format so much, because you just don't. You and I will feel better having just talked. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, if we can post that and somebody else will feel better from listening to us, that's pretty cool. I mean, we didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I set this stuff up and we talked.
It's a Seinfeld episode.
But yeah, it's about nothing. Yeah. See, I knew some references. It's a show about nothing.
Yeah.
But that's also why I've said to you before that, like, we also have the instinct, and we're just kind of saying random stuff about the show at this point. But that's totally fine. Again, I genuinely feel like from the outside looking in that this doesn't ever. You never hear shows talk about themselves. They just have the next guest on and they just keep going. So I think that this stuff is interesting.
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people do that. What we're doing, yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I'm not doing anything salacious or anything to get viewers. So.
No, I just mean like.
I mean,
I don't. To be fair, I don't consume a whole lot of podcasts, but from generally speaking, guest-driven podcasts will have a. I guess sometimes they do just check in with the host, but my point being is that I find this kind of stuff interesting as a person. If I were to watch a show, I like to see.
There's usually a lot of like specialty guests on, like doctors and psychiatrists and people that So I don't have that. But, but I do.
No. What I'm saying is that what we're doing right now by just talking about the show. By being like, hey, instead of like today we have Nicole for you. Today we're going to tell you about how that interview went.
Right.
Or we're going to just talk about like what it's like to do this or why you should do it. Like this episode isn't. We're not talking about grace or death or any of the. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes I think it's interesting to just tell people like, hey, this is kind of what we're
just shooting shit.
Yeah. Yes. A, we're just shooting the shit, and B. Yeah, it is just kind of like we're just kind of sitting there talking. So this is very much up that alley. But my point being is that, but I believe in the format because we could just sit here and shoot the shit. People don't do that.
Right.
That's how in a way we're just benefiting from the way that the world is right now. But literally just doing this, and that's why I believe in it from a business standpoint, but that's why I believe in it from a content or like a format standpoint, because I don't think that there's, the way that I say it to you all the time is like, we don't have to come in here and like preach and have like an end. Like by the end of this episode, I'm going to convince you that you have to do this or you shouldn't do this.
Right.
It's just two people or three
talking,
just talking, and that feels like
sometimes it's informative.
Well, yeah, but what's the point? It's like, well, when did we get to a point where?
Yeah, there is no point.
When did we get to a point where like a conversation is like, well, you shouldn't be doing that. It's like, I shouldn't be having a conversation. I mean, okay. I mean, it was interesting to us, and people seem to find it interesting. I'm not really sure. It doesn't have to be this like crazy like
format.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like convoluted, like huge, just like put together, like not real. Like
no, this has just been like what's in my head.
If it feels like that, it's supposed to.
Yeah.
From the audience standpoint, it's like it's supposed to feel like you are a fly on the wall. It's supposed to feel like what I say to the guests before every episode is this should be the same conversation that happens on camera or off camera.
Right.
Because it should, and I'm not just saying that, it really should be. If you're saying a bunch of stuff right now that you wouldn't say off camera, don't say it on camera. And that's also why it drives me crazy when people say things on camera and then don't want them used. It's like,
yes,
I don't really.
It is. This has all been a learning experience.
Which, and again, when we talked about
and that's fine. And I'm learning as well to.
You're sympathetic to that, and I'm sympathetic to that because we feel that way. Like I felt that way. And it's totally
But but now, I've learned from this. I've learned to say at the beginning, look, this is a conversation, and if there's just think about it for a second. If there's things that you don't want to talk about, that's fine. And on the flip side, if people share stuff, then I need to be, ready to ask a question about that, or whatever, because sometimes I get caught off guard. So it's just been a learning experience. I just wanted you guys to know that this is just what's been going on in my head. This is a learning process for me, and that's just
about like what you can hear right now. We're building it.
Yeah. I'm mad about that, but whatever.
I cannot believe that that's happened 3 times whenever we filmed. We film like once a week, once every other week, and it's on different days.
I asked this guy
at different times too. That's so crazy. That's insane.
I know painters aren't doing that.
No, I think not. I think that's probably a buzzsaw, if I had to guess.
It's people lie.
But I would like to say that first of all, if you're listening to us almost an hour in, then
are we already?
Yeah, you support us already if you're here already. So to be fair, I'm probably not really talking to that group of the audience, but if you are still listening and it hasn't crossed your mind to leave a comment or to like or to share or that kind of thing, it really does help a lot, and it also helps me show her how much of a difference that she makes. Yeah. So,
and also thank you for that.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to ask a question or they want to come on.
Yeah, we've been really bad about asking about that.
It's because a lot of times I do like to just come on.
Now would be a good time though. Now that you've had a few really good episodes in a row. You've had some additional followers coming in. You've had some. I think now would be a great time to post a story and say, anybody got any questions for the next episode type of deal. Or
just. I mean, I like these kind of episodes to where we're just kind of just shooting shit, and
I was just gonna say too. Sorry, I just interrupted you again, but that's a great point too. What would be really cool is if we had a list of questions to go through that we kind of need to do an episode like this regularly, frequently, so that we could sit down and be like, these episodes are specifically just to answer questions. So
I have some random questions.
Okay, go ahead.
That this is going to.
But send them in if you have any. Send them in. You can send them to me, I guess. Send them to her.
Yes.
Send them to her, please. But you can send them to me. But send them to her, and we will try to answer them in these kind of episodes, and then also support any way that you can, because it does mean a lot. We do, although they are just conversations, it does mean a lot, and it is difficult, as we talked about for a while now. It's harder than it looks just to sit down and just do it. It's
because I get nervous.
Simple, but it's difficult. That's how.
I was anxious today because I didn't know what really was going to be said, and and I was starting to get in my head about what's going to happen next? Who am I going to ask next? It makes you. It's just nice to have any kind of feedback or reassurance.
Well, I was talking to my sister the other day about this, and I've used these kind of examples with podcasts before. That it's interesting. Like, we would like to. Oh, another thing, we would like to have sponsors. We would like to produce.
Yes.
Maybe some products.
Yes.
We'll be on the, we're not going to put too much info on that out yet because we don't have anything finalized. But we're working on these kind of things. There's a reality there as well. But there's also like this type scenario that I was talking to my sister about. She's going into real estate right now, and she's talking about kind of getting into that and it, just being difficult and there being financial realities and blah, blah, blah. And, but she brought this example up of how she visualizes it, and it's the same way I visualize it, like a little hope tank. It's almost like it's like when you go to the gas station, you need physical dollars to put actual gas into your gas tank, and we need that too. Like we would love to have again a sponsorship. We would love that side. Also, though, there's like this other tank that's like, I want you to enjoy it still. I want you to want to come in here and film. I want you to take pride in the final product. I want you to feel pride in the feedback that you get because it helped somebody. So that's why comments like that and shares
Feed my hope
and stuff
tank.
like it's like you're filling that tank up, and that tank matters almost as much, if not more, than the other one.
It does.
Because what happens is you'll just quit before you can fill the other one up because you just can't keep enough optimism in the tank. So that's a really drawn out way to say that we do really. I personally appreciate it. I know she personally appreciates it, and we together appreciate a share, a like, literally anything. But like comments from people that you like a segment or something was helpful or you found like those kind of things really do matter. We're not just saying that. She's not just saying that. I'm not just saying that. It matters a lot. It fills up. It fills up a tank that's just as important as if you drop by right now and handed us some money. Like it's.
Yes.
In certain cases, you got to have the cash, but in a lot of cases, it's just as important as that because it keeps you going. I mean, it really keeps you going, especially whenever you are having those moments like, does this even matter? And then you get a comment, I was having such a bad day today and I watched this, and you're like, and that's why
it does. It's
that's why I always stress. That's why I always stress you. You should, and that should, you should never become numb to that because that's why you're doing it.
Yeah.
And that should, if you have 10 thoughts that are like, why am I doing this? Nobody cares. I posted it and it flopped. This is costing a lot of money, et cetera. Like whatever the thought may be, in a lot of cases, you get that right comment, and that'll wash away. It washes away so much because you're like, damn, I was sitting here thinking maybe I shouldn't even do this anymore, and this person's saying, you got me through my day today.
Right.
It's like, well, golly, it's just so it really
awesome.
does matter.
It's awesome. So. Okay, well, I have random questions, but I don't. Maybe we should just go to the lightning round because maybe we should do random questions later. Well, that was really loud. Okay,
that was really loud. My bad.
So childish.
Go ahead.
No. Well, maybe I won't do the random, but I am interested in these questions.
We're only at 55 minutes. You still got a few minutes.
Okay, these are just random questions that I was just thinking as I was like in the car. Have you ever noticed that when you pull up to a light, and I don't know why this is, but and there's a homeless person like standing there, and there's two lanes, that no one gets in this lane, they always get in this second lane. Have you noticed that?
Like to get away from them?
Yes.
No, but I do.
I noticed that because I've done that before.
Well, what I was going to say.
And it makes me, and it's like, it's because it like affects me in a certain way that I don't know.
What, homelessness?
Well, yeah, almost.
I mean, like just like seeing, like it just affect. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me super sad.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I
have a myriad of feelings that go through my head.
Well, you're very empathetic. I think it seems like. Would you say that?
Yeah, I did buy some stuff for one homeless guy, but I go back and forth on.
Are you? Yes, you are very empathetic.
Yeah.
Just generally, you find yourself to be that way.
I'm super empathetic, and as I've gotten older, I don't want to say it's gotten worse because that's a great thing to have. But
it is a great thing to have, but you got to remember to control what you can control. I feel like is the thing with empathy because like if like right now we could sit here and stop speaking and just
cry.
I mean, I was literally going to say cry about
Yeah.
let's not get political, but let's just say there's wars and fucking there's a lot of crazy shit going on right now.
Yeah.
If you really just let empathy take over your body right now, I mean, you'd never move.
Oh, I'd never get anything
You'd never
done.
move, right?
Yeah.
So, well, but also it's beautiful to care about a child that died halfway across the country or halfway across the world. Yeah, true. Also, I have nothing to do with that, and I can't affect that at all.
Right.
So you got to rein the empathy in. But I say that to say about the homeless situation. That's a situation where you got to rein it in sometimes because it is really difficult. Because
I'm just wondering if people notice it. If it's just me that does that, like there's
do you
time.
lock your doors?
No, I don't lock my. I'm not scared of them. I just.
See, that's what I would do. I won't get in the other lane, but I'll lock my window. I'll roll my
Oh my
window
God!
up.
No,
And
I don't
feel
do
bad.
that. I just am observing it. I'm observing other people, doing the same thing that I do, and I don't always do that. Just so you know, but getting in that other lane, and it's just. And I've also noticed, no one likes to make eye contact. You see them walking with their sign, and everybody's like this, or they're on their phone,
Yeah.
or they're messing with something, and it's just interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean it's a sad situation overall. I did a couple of videos one time for a guy back-to-back years on Thanksgiving, or right before Thanksgiving season in downtown on Broadway.
Yeah.
Like feeding the homeless, like it was intense.
Wow.
Like, and the first year he had like little bags that had different things in them, and he was like physically going up to people. And then the second year was more of an organized thing, and they all kind of, I guess they laid some things out at this park that they usually do gather around anyway. And then, so it was a little bit of a different situation, that one. I will tell these stories. We don't have time to tackle the homeless epidemic, obviously, or the morality of it.
And it's totally different in every. Go ahead.
Yeah,
in
but
every
I will say
state.
that the among other things, but the first year when we were going around, I will say this: I felt very uncomfortable filming them. I did not like it. I felt like this feels weird. It feels
intrusive,
exploitative.
Yeah,
it feels like if I was homeless, the last fucking thing I would ever want was a guy with a camera
right
coming up. And so I tried to stay back and that kind of thing. But but then you get into the situation where, 5 minutes later you run into somebody who's really aggressive or getting into your ear or not just asking, but like being.
Well, they've got mental illness.
And so it's a tough situation. We came around the corner at one point and ended up doing like this group prayer with a bunch of homeless people under a bridge that I walk past when I go to football games every time, which is ironic. But this is so random. But there was a kid there who was like my age at the time, and I was probably like 23 or 24. And this kid, I shit you not, told me with a was being serious that that I feel so bad. I shouldn't even tell this story, but
you started it
that he sold or leased private jets.
What?
And like showed me an Instagram account and everything. And I was like blown away. Like I was like, I don't know what to say about this. And it was like
homeless and he said he's leasing jets. Well, he's got some mental illness.
He seemed totally normal. And he was my age. And he shows me this account he's got on Instagram. And in a way, I was like, okay, do your thing. And then as I was thinking, the more I thought about it, I thought, wait a second.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's a mind fuck.
But you're.
Yeah.
And the second story I'll tell real quick is that the next year, hold on.
Oh. Is it turned off?
The next year we went back and did it was more organized, like I said, and they were in like a park. And,
where was it? What state?
This is here. This is downtown.
Oh, okay.
And,
that's right.
And I don't go downtown in general, much less
smart.
Yeah, much less purposely trying to get into those type of situations. But anyways, the second time I just thought it was fascinating. This has nothing to do with anything. If you're listening, you're just listening because you like us, and I love you for that. Because this ain't got nothing to do with shit. But the second year, there was a guy there was a Metro cop who worked at a gym. He worked out at the gym that I worked out at, and he was also a client of mine. So I knew him relatively well. And he just happened to be there because he was a Metro cop. And I just asked him like what he thought about homelessness, I guess. I don't remember exactly how I said it, but he said I don't feel bad for him at all. He said, I feel not 1 ounce of sympathy for him. And I said, really? I thought that was
Well-
shocking to come from a cop. And I said, why? And he said, because they have every resource that you could ever want, and they choose not to do it. He said, every church, and again, this is just one person's thing. I'm not even saying I agree with it. It's just what he said. But he said, every church down here offers them shelter. Not to mention the actual shelters. They all have the same rule. You cannot come. You have to come sober. Not one of them wants to come sober, and they show up fucked up, and then they get turned away, and then they act like there's no resources, and there's nobody cares.
And some of them,
I heard it. Keep going.
yeah, some of them have actually. I've fed the homeless before, and I was surprised to see all of the name brand outfits they had on,
Right.
and some of them walked in with AirPods, and they had,
He kind of acted too, like,
and it was
they act like they don't have anything, and I don't mean
Right.
to sound callous, but
right. It was eye opening to me. That was eye opening to me. So I don't want to say it hardened me, but it just made me feel a little bit differently.
Yeah.
It made me want to ask more questions, to be honest.
well, I mean, it's
But-
no different than whenever you give somebody, you give, and this is why I was always, I mean, you've probably heard this before too, maybe. I was always told that you don't give them money because they'll go around the corner and buy liquor with
Drugs
it.
or whatever.
Or drugs with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, there is some of that too, and then you run into the
It
guy.
is.
Then you run into the poor guy who just
yeah.
is down on his luck, and you hate the fact that,
Right, but you can't. But
How do you
again,
know?
it's like,
How do you
yeah,
know?
you can't save the whole world.
no, you cannot.
Anyway, I didn't mean to go down that route.
That's okay.
But
We're just doing a little,
also, do you notice in traffic that when you're driving and you want to get in the fast lane, and you get in the fast lane, then immediately it's the slow lane? Mm-hmm. Have you ever noticed that?
yeah.
That's just something I thought about that was weird. And it happens all the time.
Something happened.
All the time.
I don't even remember what it was. Something happened this morning that I was. Oh yeah, yeah. I was.
Just a random thought.
Yeah, I was coming past Donaldson. What is going on? I was coming past Donaldson. Anyways, I was a semi. Lanes closing.
Yeah.
You know how people will
Yes.
pass everything,
Go real quick in front of the.
and this guy did. Whoops, sorry. Hold on. This guy did that in a semi truck this morning on the way here. I just thought that was insane. I was like, I hate when people do that anyway. You know how this works, and this guy did that in a semi truck. I thought that was insane. So
Some people in semis are crazy. I got locked in between two semis once, and they did it on purpose, and I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die. I was like, they're going to run me right off the road. It was terrifying. My heart was beating fast. Okay, well, moving on. Did you also notice, this is another random thought, that, and again, I'm back to dating, but you're drawn to, at least for me, I'm drawn to a certain look, like facial look. Like, for instance, I'm usually drawn to rounded features, more rounded features on a man than sharp features in a. Whoops, that was loud.
do you want me to ask the psychological question there? It'll probably just freak you out, but
What?
did your dad have rounded features or squared features?
Oh, weird.
I know it's not fun, but it's usually got something to do with it.
I mean, as he got older, his nose got real bulbous.
Real bulbous.
I'm not.
Yeah,
It's
a weird.
I don't know. And then
I think that
I think about my second
I hate
husband
that
had
line.
a big bulbous nose. I'm like, oh God, that's so gross. But
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. That's where it goes. That's where they'll always go. Well, if that's if,
no, it's more just soft, kind of boyish, roundish features. I don't know. That's just what I'm drawn to.
I don't know. I think I would have trouble answering that without getting in trouble. But I will say that I don't generally find.
This is maybe I'll do like a dating episode where I'll have like a girlfriend come on and
You should.
and we'll and a single girlfriend we'll talk about
You should.
shit like this.
You should do that.
So
Let me ask you a question before we go.
What?
And you don't have to go until super deep ones. So limit yourself to create a little challenge to it. But give me three things that you have learned since you started doing the show. It could be something that you learned specifically from a guest that sticks out, or it could be something about yourself, or it could be
and it have to be 3.
yeah. Just 3 things that really stick out that pop up to mind as soon as I ask that.
I learned that, just obvious, I clear my throat a lot, and so I'm real aware of that. That's
I've
something.
learned that you're very self-conscious.
I am very self-conscious. No, that's okay.
Take a drink of water if you need it. I finished mine.
No, it's not that. It's just congestion. I don't know if it's allergies or what.
Yeah.
But if you hang around me or my brother, we do this all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And
My dad has a very specific sound.
Just clearing her
of
throat.
his, and I sound like that now. It's crazy. It's actually
Yeah.
insane. But anyways.
Okay, so that's one thing. 2 is
So that is not one thing.
It is.
You've learned that you clear your throat a lot is not one thing. No, it is not. I'll take an easy one, but we're not. I'll take an easy one, but we're not taking that one.
I've learned that that not everybody is in the same spot as me. Meaning, they can come on the show and then they can be open, but then they close back up like a clam.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't judge that at all because that's where I've been all my life. So
Well, step 1 is opening up, but once you open up and you go, whoa, and then step 2 is not going,
Right.
never mind.
I don't know. I mean, I've learned that I can talk to people and it'll bring up stuff about me, and then that makes me become more aware of things that I'm doing. I don't know.
Talking to other people teaches you about yourself.
Talking to other people, it's just bringing more awareness to me, because when I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do for another episode, I'll go on a hike, and then and it's a grounding thing for me. I just it helps me to clear my mind, and it helps me to think. Because for you like to meditate and sit still. I can't, that just doesn't work for me. I like to be moving. I like to be walking. I like to be in nature. And this is new too, because I used to hate to hike, by the way. This has just all been new to me. Now it's like I kind of crave it.
Yeah, it seems like, it just seems in general, like, I mean, a lot of things have...
I find myself...
You've grown in a lot of ways just from the short amount of time that I've known you. Really, I mean, ultimately, I've not even known you for a full year. You feel like not that I've liked you very much at the time as well, but that's always the thing with improvement too that I find interesting. I could do 8 hours just about balancing 2 different things, but one thing that I always find interesting that's been on my mind is like pushing yourself to improve without putting your previous self down.
Right.
It's because it's not really about that, right? So it's like whenever I say to you that you've grown so much, it's my mind wants to go, well, is that offensive to who you were before? It's like, no.
No, I think it's great. And I'll say the third thing is...
Because that's not how I mean it, obviously.
No, and that's not how I took it. But how I've also feel like I've grown is when I first started this, I was so in kind of on the way of getting out of a bad relationship and still like grappling with that in my mind, and still had a lot of bitterness there. And today I can say that I don't have bitterness with said person. And as a matter of fact, I feel, I hate to say thankful, but in many ways I feel thankful that, I got into that relationship and it has brought me to where I am today. Yeah. I mean, I can honestly say that. Whereas at the beginning, I don't know if I could have honestly said it, because I would go back and forth on the bitterness and the hurt. And now I just feel like, wow, this was just like a real catalyst to where I am now. And
well, I don't think that perspective would have even probably made sense at first to you. Like you would have. Like
well, it's hard. It's hard to. You have to get to a point to let go of that anger, and because it holds you back. Mm-hmm. And that way, you let go of it, or try to let go of it, try to soften it, and that way doors will open in front of you. It has to do with just like moving out of the past. And that just takes time,
I think I might title this episode, "What Would You Do If You Weren't Afraid?"
Yeah.
Because I like that.
Yeah. That's good.
I read that in something the other day.
Hey, I have a few lightning round questions for you.
Shoot them.
Okay. Would you rather be 2 hours early or 20 minutes late?
No, it's not even remotely close. 20 minutes late.
Oh.
I have a real problem with that, actually.
Okay.
I mean, I would rather not be 20 minutes late as well, but I definitely don't plan to get places early.
Okay.
I have an issue with that,
Okay.
admittedly, but I seem to not be able to stop myself.
What's an ick that you have for when you're around somebody? Something that just really, it's like nails on a chalkboard for you.
I don't like repeating myself in general. That irritates me, which I've tried to remind myself when I repeat myself to myself. But I really don't like having to repeat myself, and I also really don't like wasting anything. I don't like waste.
Okay.
Which is, again, ironic because I do more of that than I would like. But
You don't
yesterday, taking, in my mind, I should have been done filming by 10.
So you like to finish your plate?
Yeah, I mean,
You like to belong to the clean plate
I guess
club?
I really don't like wasting time, and I don't like wasting effort. I hate feeling like I worked on something and then it gets
Right.
not used. Or yesterday, the video that I filmed would have had to have been very, very, very good for me to not be upset about the fact that it took 4 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I hated that, because it's I sat down at
Wasted time.
Yeah, I sat at 8:30 yesterday morning because I was thinking I'll be done with this. Damn, I'll be done filming, and I usually don't film until the afternoon, and that's the last thing I do. And I was like, damn, I'll be done filming at 10 o'clock. I have the rest of my day. It's 12 o'clock, and I'm dragging away from it. And
It's only 2 hours more.
it is, and ultimately,
Still.
I still got it done. But yeah, I hate wasting time, and I hate wasting effort and money.
I get that.
So maybe not food. I don't generally care too much to waste for whatever reason, but.
Okay, you're thinking about this way too much.
Yeah.
This is a lightning round.
I know,
Okay.
you're right. That was this is a lightning storm real quick, that's all.
Favorite childhood TV show?
Supernatural.
Is that a Disney thing?
No, it's not a Disney.
Oh. Supernatural?
Yeah, Supernatural.
God.
It's
You know what I was
It
going
was
to
on the
say?
CW. It's
Never heard of it.
it's a great show. People that probably
did it
no one
start?
listens to this knows. Shoot, I don't know. It ran for a very long time though. I stopped watching it towards the end. I didn't even watch the last few seasons. But that's the first one that came to mind. I liked a couple shows in there. Smallville is a show about young Superman that was on CW as well.
Yes,
I
you
like
only
that.
get one.
I'll go Supernatural, I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
This is the age thing. I was going to say the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch was a little bit before my time, I think.
Okay. Okay, what actor would would play you in a movie?
Oh God. I don't know. I'd say. I have no idea. I mean, the people that are coming to mind are way too old to play me.
Do you have people that will
Like-
say, "Wow, you look like such and such"?
I swear to God, and this is going to sound like I'm making this up. I can't believe that this came up in my life that I could actually say this and
You're welcome.
and it be true, because this would sound ridiculous in any other context. But there's a a gas station that I'm a freak about gas stations. Fun fact, I love them.
Okay.
I go to them 2-3 times a day. A lot of times I'll just go grab a drink. I'm not just I don't understand why either. But there's one across the street from my apartment complex now that just opened up a few months ago. It's very nice, very new, whatever.
Right.
So the guys in there are Indian, and they're very nice.
Yeah.
And one of them in particular, every time he sees me, he calls me Brad Pitt.
Oh.
I don't know why. I've never got that before in my life. And I told him that. I said, I've never gotten that before, but thank you very much. And in particular, if I
That's
come
so
in,
funny.
with my sunglasses on, and I'll just be walking like that. You go, Mr. Brad Pitt. And he cracks me up.
God, that's hilarious.
But I don't know. I mean, anybody that I would pick, I love Cillian Murphy, for example. He's way too old to play me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, just wondering.
That's a good question. I'll think about it.
I had people when I was in my 20s that would say that I looked like Jennifer Aniston, and I'm like,
It's not a bad comparison to get.
it's not a bad comparison. I had her hair. I had that hair.
Not a bad comparison.
I've had
to get
people
at all.
say, Sarah Jessica Parker, and I'm like, God, really?
That one's not as
I don't
flattering.
see that at all. It's not as flattering.
Yeah, I don't see that one either, for the record. But
Or,
that one's not as flattering.
Somebody said, and this was random. She was like, "You look just like Julia Roberts," and I thought, "What?
I don't
Thank you."
know if
But
any
no.
of those, I don't know if any of those three.
No,
Not even like to say that you're.
I'll bring a picture of the Jennifer Aniston thing. I can see only because my hair was really just like hers, and I was much younger. But anyway, let's move on.
It's a good compliment. That's why whenever
Yeah.
he called me Brad Pitt, I was like, "Listen, I'll take it." And
take it.
And somebody, and it's so funny you ask that, because somebody will ask me, and I'll be like, "Listen, somebody told me one time." I didn't tell him to. Somebody told me one time that I looked like Brad Pitt. So,
Yes.
I mean,
Okay.
you take that or leave that, but that did happen.
Yeah, you can take it. Take
You
it.
know?
Okay, I got one more. I've got some. These are new ones. What's a hidden talent that you have?
A hidden talent. I don't know. I of all my creativity that I have, I guess, ironically, the thing that I do the least is what I'm probably the best at, which is writing.
Okay,
I've always been like
you're a writer.
not by practice at the moment. I'd like to be. It's on my list to try to do that more, and journal and those kind of things. But just in general, like when I was growing up, I was
You're a writer.
very like way above my
I could see
way
that.
above my age when it comes to that. And like I was reading at a 12th grade level in 2nd grade,
Oh wow.
like shit like that. So reading and writing, but writing in particular, whenever I write,
Okay.
I should pull it out more. Every
Yes.
once in a while, like I use it for like I'll write my wife letters sometimes,
Aw,
and
sweet.
I used to do it more.
You
But
you should continue
I'm
that.
pretty efficient at
Wives appreciate that.
Drawing emotion out whenever I write.
Okay.
Like I can pretty much hit that button if I want to. So probably writing, I guess.
My hidden talent is that I like to sing harmony in songs.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
That means I can hear the harmony.
Match pitch and stuff.
And I am not saying that I'm
I think
I'm not a singer, but I can pick out the harmony. I like to sing the harmony.
I don't want to say that I can do that because I probably am technically not correct about that. But I will say I have said several times to my wife that it freaks me out how songs will change, and I could just
Yeah.
go to the next one and just
Yep.
I'll sing just like that person, and then go to the next one and I sing just like that person, but they're very different.
Yeah.
Maybe I can harmonize too.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What's your favorite junk food?
Oh God.
Is what?
I said, oh God.
Oh. I haven't heard of that candy bar.
Oh, junk food like candy, like junk food.
I mean, yeah,
I
whatever.
love hot Cheetos.
Oh
I
God.
love hot Cheetos. Like,
Okay.
love them.
Yeah.
For the most part. Every once in a while, I'm like turned off by them, but for the most part, I'll just destroy
You eat the
some.
whole bag and then your fingers are orange. Yeah.
The puff balls that are hot Cheeto flavored are. I just even
Cheese puffs.
Yeah, but they're hot Cheeto flavored.
Yes.
Now those I will finish the whole thing. The bag I can mostly keep myself from, and then I like sour candy a lot. So I used to eat Sour Patch Kids a lot, but sour stuff doesn't. I can't find anything sour most of the time.
Yeah.
So I don't really eat sour stuff as much anymore because nothing's sour. It's just all sweet, which I don't really like as much.
Okay.
I'm not like a huge candy person in general.
You're so detailed when I ask you these questions.
Actually, this is why I like gas stations so much though, because I love
So much to choose
everything
from.
that they sell.
Yeah.
Everything they sell, I love. All of it. Plus, they cook there now.
Yeah.
The place across the street from us has Hunt's Brothers Pizzas. Have you ever had those?
No.
Oh, God. Do you even live here?
Hunch Brothers?
Hunt's.
Oh, Hunt's Brothers. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I would never get. That's in a
so,
gas
I'll go in
station.
there
I would
and
never do that.
Oh, my God. I'll
Oh my
fuck those
God!
up.
You know
Those
how
are
much
so
oil's
good.
in that? God, we get a zit just looking
The
at it.
oil? You think I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the oil on it when I grab that thing?
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking about that giant slice and how delicious it is. Hot Cheetos.
Okay, I'm done after this.
Okay. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you for coming and listening to us. We had a theme, and then we did.
And we just rambled.
And then we rambled.
This was the Seinfeld episode.
But
so.
but I think that it's good. I think that it's good.
It'd be better if you guys would just ask me some questions.
true.
And then I can do
That's
that,
true.
and you don't have to listen to
And if we do
all
it,
this bullshit.
if we do
that
it
we're-
again, I'll
we're
try to be.
saying
I'll
nothing.
try to be better about prepping some questions and stuff. But if you're listening to this, yes, and I'll try to remember to make a clip. And if I forget, then you remind me. But I'll try to remember to make a clip of me saying what I'm saying right now. I'm like a time traveler. You know, I'm trying to remind myself later on to clip me now for later. But anyways, if you are listening to this and you can or have thought of any questions, please send them to us. Please leave a comment. Please share.
And all
If
that
you
kind of
enjoy the
stuff.
show, please here. This is an offline one. I would love for you to share it, like the link with someone. But word of mouth works too. If you enjoy the show, just tell somebody about it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
You can literally just say, "Hey, I love the show that I watch," and help them pull their phone out. If you know, it doesn't have to be digital. You can also that works too. Just tell somebody, tell a friend, tell somebody, share it with somebody.
Use your mouth
Subscribe,
and talk.
etc. And then yes, ultimately, if you would like to watch each episode, make sure you see everything coming out. Subscribe, turn
Yes.
your all that kind of stuff.
The end.
But yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.